Fight or flight. Those are typically the two options that we humans have when we come into a zone of danger or perceived danger. And there is a very natural reaction to it. We either fight it or we flee from it. That means run. It's a moment in which there's lots of hormones in your body all of a sudden working, and there's very little time to really take control about what you're doing. But the question is there maybe a third option? What about staying instead of fighting or flighting? That is the topic of today on Carsten Uncut. Welcome back to my little video cast. I've come across this topic the other day because I found it very interesting that most of the times we either choose to fight or we flight. But very, very seldomly we try to take just this one moment before we take any of these, most of the times, unconscious decisions and decisions based on past experiences to really recapacitate and understand, is that really the best thing we can do? Is there something else we might want to do, or better even, we should be doing? And that is the option number 3, stay. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes, if possible, right? Because especially if it's a perceived threat and not a real threat, you might want to do that. If it's a real threat, maybe one of those other two options is really the best. But really take a moment and reflect on what's actually really happening. The deep breathing helps to slow down your pulse, because when you have the perceived threat, you will have adrenaline in your body, you will have cortisol, and that will not necessarily help you to take a very good and informed decision. You will just react. So breathing will help you to slow your body down, to slow your mind down, and then take a better decision. Why is that important? Well, because not always the first option is the best option. And maybe the second one can be the much better one. And especially if you want to work together with people, live together with people, maybe just taking a deep breath, reanalyzing the situation, thinking about what else could we do? Is there another way to solve this instead of fighting or flighting? Maybe there is a way to just talk about it, discuss it, and see how the other person or persons react. I have tried it myself. I have to say it's not always easy to really recapacitate and say, oh, not the right moment. Let's take a deep breath and understand, is it a fight, flight, or really a stay moment? I can tell you that staying gives you a whole different way of looking at things. And it's also very, very powerful, because you're not doing what everyone would maybe expect of you in that moment. You're doing something else. You're staying. When you stay, you think, and you actually show that some of those things that are very, very deep in us can be overcome. And you can train this. You can do it several times. It will not always work, right? But as soon as you start trying it and you practice it every day, there's a very, very high chance that you will do it more often. And maybe you come to better outputs. And that's, after all, what we're all here for, to produce better and more sustained outputs and take away a little bit of the maybe anger and cortisol, adrenaline. Adrenaline is also sometimes a lot of fun, but really take it a little bit more away on these situations and try to be better, or as I typically like to say, try to be the bigger person. That's my topic for today. Thank you very much for tuning in to Carsten Uncut. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to see and hear from you soon again. And have a wonderful day. Thank you.